Some more Genshin Impact. Into the wolf's den. Let us go. Oh, it's over here. Conveniently close.
What wolf's den?
It was apparently the name of the quest.
Is Wolvendom. People from
Because there is a world boss. Something about the wolf.
It's not so far away from the city. The environment here is totally untouched. It's survival of the fittest out here. Even the slimes around here are huge. Like those super duper massive ones over there. Incoming. Hey! Don't blink. With sword comes shadow.
You're forced to be immortal in one of two ways. Never die, but you only have a 10-year memory span, or live 10 years and be constantly reincarnated as a random creature with all your memories.
Oh, that's a good one.
And you forget everything, and if you choose the never dying one, but you only have 10-year memory span, you forget everything, including reading, writing, basic life functions.
Oh. Yeah, no, then freaking I wouldn't want to relearn everything in 10 years. The freaking the implications of that would just be like you're not living at all. Just
Question with regards to that melted polys. Is that like, does it have to be a real creature, like a cat, dog, whatever, or can it be something make believe?
I'd take the reincarnation like with though live 10 years and then constantly reincarnated, because like am I reincarnated from because like anytime I'm reincarnated as a human, that would just suck, because like in 10 years of like child life you can't do anything. Like,
We smell.
You smell like Knights of Favonius. They are friends.
Like,
I am Razor.
like, and what about like what if happens if you what happens if you like reincarnate into like a creature that has less than a 10-year lifespan? Does that still count, or do you go beyond the 10 years? Because 10 years as a mayfly would kind of suck.
Are you one of the Knights of Favonius too?
I am not.
Oh.
My wolf pack. They are my family.
Your family?
Yes, they raised me. We live together.
I don't like this character's voice.
So many questions.
They are angry with me.
Don't worry. Paimon will get her friend to catch you another boar. She's stronger than she looks.
No need. When knights try to help, wolves go hungry.
Don't be silly. Wait here. We won't screw this up. Just watch.
10 full years, no matter what the creature's lifespan is.
It would be, yeah, and like I'm assuming I'd get reincarnated from like baby stage, from infancy, and so like it would be insanely lonely, but like having the 10-year life memory span would be worse.
Why?
Because I'm a person who's more avid for knowledge than anything else, and so like it wouldn't be fun for me to like lose all like, and it would cause so much more pain for like my friends to just like have that loss and whatnot of like, because like I've dealt with Alzheimer's patients. I've seen how like Alzheimer's has torn like families like really 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 hard, so that like loss of memory is just super tough and super incredible to go against. So like it's either choosing loneliness or causing distance between anyone who gets close to you and whatnot. So I'd rather choose loneliness for myself. And like I'd try, like for the first couple centuries probably, I'd try to like if I get lucky, I'd try to like stay attached to friends and whatnot. But like, of course, if I like get reincarnated one day and I'm a cockroach and whatnot, it's like really hard to prove that you're still you if you're a cockroach. But like being a puppy, being a bird, like you get to experience so much more with the reincarnation one. That's like why I'd choose that one, to be honest. I don't know. Your trauma compounds with each creature you are because you retain all your memories. 10 years as a slug, 10 years as an earthworm, having memories of being human but not being able to do human things. Yeah, I know. It's got that, but then like that whole thing is like and like it's making me think a little bit of Marceline from Adventure Time. A deathless creature becomes like attached at first and then just stops caring for centuries and just goes with the flow. And like whenever like it would, you would learn to just, oh, this is a thing now, okay, let's do this for a while. And after like decades and decades and whatnot, you become you could still hate and love your new forms, but then I'm sure that after a while, like there would be that fear of like, what if I get reincarnated as something terrible again? But there would also be that like non-caring of like, this is my curse, this is my life now, I just have to deal with it. There's that like level of acceptance and there's that level of like going with it. So it's really a tough question, but like I'd rather remember that way if in like in a lifespan of someone like I've befriended and whatnot, if I do return into a form that can interact again with humans, like like birds and stuff like that, dogs, like most mammals or like common animals, I could still like come back to them and like still help out. But then again,
if you were reincarnated as a dog, I would totally adopt you.
Well, that it's also the thing that like, thanks to my human memories, I could like do things, and like you'd learn over trial and error of your multiple reincarnations what's to do, what's not to do, and all that fun stuff. So
Told you we could do it.
Wolves catch 5 or 6 every hunt. Tonight they go hungry.
Oh.
Don't worry. You tried. At least you did better than other night friend. If she was here, whole mountain is fire.
Amber just lights the mountain on fire.
I must go now. Here is not safe.
Choose the mind wipe option. You'd be a marvel to science, and the state could take care of you. If ways to find you bring it back to speed faster. I guess so. Like, you could have that whole, like, thing set up and whatnot. But there's also the fear that of, like, being exploited and being turned and whatnot. So, I don't know. It offers, like, losing your mind and memories and all of that offers a sense of weakness that, like, I don't really like. Especially for the fact of, like, what happens if one day you get so busy or something happens so that, like, oh, the decade rolls around and you weren't ready or whatnot. So you just forget everything. And then either A, don't follow your, like, fallbacks that you set up. That, like, after a couple decades of going through this, that you've installed, your fallbacks no longer work because, like, oh, this time, like, you know, you found it super creepy, or you were just wandering the street and then totally forgot how to human in the middle of the street and get fucking plowed by a bus.
Bernie girl.
Like, the pain would still reside, and then, like,
What is he?
the new memories change who you are every time. So, like, you're never the same person every 10 years. Because it's innate and nature that affects who you are as a person, so your memories might be gone, but, like, when you get them back, what you're exposed to in each decade might vary differently, and so, like, one decade you're just, like, hopelessly clingy romantic towards whoever, like, gives you help, but then the next decade, when they try to help you to bring you back up to speed, you are cynical, untrustworthy, and, like, skeptical and whatnot, and just being able to make more mistakes than every man, woman, and child on this earth seems more profitable to me than being able to make those mistakes and never learn from them, because you'd forget it anyways. Yeah, but you wouldn't be experiencing innocence because you would have no recollection of having experienced it. Like, so, like, what's the value of like having something to cherish if you can't cherish it, kind of thing, for that long? Like, that's my coin of, like, yeah, you get to cherish, like, feel bewilderment at everything in the world, but, like, 10 years later you feel bewildered and you don't remember being bewildered, and, like, you can only learn so much and develop so much in 10 years that, like, it would just, I don't know, that's just problematic to me. That's my take. That's my take on that. Because, like, here's the other thing. If you have a recollection of every 10, like, of your entire life, the entire life of your soul, your consciousness, and then, like, you get reincarnated as a baby. Granted, really sucks when you're human because, you know, the maturity and whatnot of a human and all that fun stuff, just, you can't really do anything. But due to the fact that, like, you would have all your memories and whatnot, as soon as you remember how to make your body work, remember how to make a human body work, learn how to make your vocal cords, because, like, every new body you'd have to relearn again. But, like, after, like, figuring out how to move, how to make your vocal cords work, how to put your thought process and whatnot into action, so that might take you, like, 25%, 30% of your, like, lifespan as human before you can start being cohesive. you could still nonetheless like have left paper trails of like any other reincarnation to pick up to prove that you're still the same person, and then in that other form, you are now a tagged marvel of science, and so you could have that whole thing of like, oh yeah, if ever I'm reincarnated into another thing as I'm about to die, and
Hi, traveler.
bam,
What can I do for you?
you could have other people look out for you, and it's like, oh yeah, this is the Einstein fly. This is the fly that never dies, or like that lizard is the Einstein lizard, whatnot, because it did this one specific thing that we're supposed to look out for. And then like you could still like that's the counterpoint of like you could still prove and you can still like be a part.
Hi, Amber.
So
Hi. Looks like
yeah.
you've got a bit of time on your hands. Uh-oh. Here it comes. I've been rushed off my feet recently, and Outrider's duties never end, so wanna help? Told you so. Recently, wolves have been attacking the carts at Drunkard Gorge. As you know, wolves are dangerous, but they do have their own rules. Mondstadt's wolves don't normally venture outside of the Bright Crown Mountains in Wolvendom. Yes, Paimon heard someone say that those areas do have their own set of rules, even though they are wild and untouched by humans. That's right. So for wolves to be showing up around Drunkard Gorge is very unusual. Speaking of wolves, do you know the weirdo wolf boy from Wolvendom? Who? I've never heard of anyone like that around Mondstadt. Wait! Red one? Bernie girl? That ain't you? Bernie? What are you talking about? Anyway, I'm off to Drunkard Gorge to investigate. Come with me!
I don't really need the fast travel, I can just run around. But yeah, that is my thoughts on the reincarnation question, because like either way it's a deplorable fate, but I find that you'd get to experience more and appreciate more of the world reincarnating every 10 years than forgetting everything every 10 years. Because like you also have to think like long term, like in the forget everything 10 years, you might have someone like to take care of you, to remind you in the long run. But you know how traumatic it would be for your family, for your friends, for your coworkers, for the world around you in the first couple reincarnations, your first couple forget-me's. Like, let's say you had a girlfriend, say you had a boyfriend, say you had an established life when this curse kicks in, and you just forget all about them and everything. Like, that would be insanely traumatic. Wow.
Look, up ahead! Something's happening! That ain't no wolf pack. Looks like it's the Hilly Trails attacking the carts after all. Huh. Not such enough talk. Don't blink!
Wow. The superpowered weapon is awesome. Yep, that was the right option to go after all.
You. Piece of cake. So, the Hilly Trolls have been starting to flex their muscles on the back of the wolf scare.
That's right. But I must say, if you think the Hilly Trolls are a nasty lot, the wolves are even worse. They attacked
Springvale? That's crazy!
It's unheard of. I thought I would take my chances on the road after the wolves had their fun. I never thought the Hilly Trolls would show up too.
We should head there soon and see how bad the situation is. But first things first. You should assess the damage to your cart.
I'll take a look.
Oh dear. This is awful. Poor lad can't even stand.
That's terrible. Except he's not actually injured.
Right. It's awful. The wolves frighten him so badly that he's paralyzed with fear.
That really is awful. Do you remember any significant details of what you saw?
No, he's just a wimp.
I've never seen a wolf in my life before today. It was terrifying.
Hopkins the Marvelous.
No details then, huh? Let's investigate the area again.
Jeez.
Please come to me again.
These claw marks.
Oh.
From them,
The
we
entering
can
Storm
tell
Terror's
the
lair
number
in my
and size
game.
of the wolf.
Oh,
This
nice.
time, there were at least 2 wolves. And they must be... Yes.
This might take a
yes.
while.
They must be at least 2 meters high.
I mean, you know what a wolf is, right?
Wolves are mysterious creatures. It's not like you see them every day.
God damn it, Pylon. Ooh, cabbage and potatoes. Potatoes are so good. Such a nice food. Oh, I especially love making bacon mashed potatoes. Because, oh my god.
Now that
Bacon.
you've mentioned that, I'm gonna make that tomorrow.
This is a wolf's tooth. He must have smashed
Because
into
it just
the
sounds
door
so
when he
good.
pounced. Anyway... Wolfer. I heard that in Liyue, they make calligraphy brushes out of this stuff. The color looks nothing like Mondstadt wolf fur, based on what the books say. Could it be that they're from somewhere else entirely? Hair looks different at every place on the body. Same applies to wolves. But look at this. Another hair. But what's that stuck to it? It's the seed of a wolf hook berry. Look, there are little hooks on the seed. The only places this grows in Mondstadt are Wolvendom and Bright Crown Canyon. So it's Wolvendom wolves after all? From that area, yes. But it could be that there are other wolf packs encroaching on their territory. This doesn't tell us everything, but it does give us a strong lead. Enough to start investigating.
If it doesn't tell you anything, how does it give you a strong lead? Doesn't it need to tell you something to give you a
I'll
lead?
go and see to the villagers before we head off.
It says this doesn't tell us everything, not anything.
Well, the voice acting is messing up their lines.
How is your investigation coming along?
What? You're standing!
Yes, I see. I have recovered, thankfully. I managed to claw my way back out of the depths of hell. So, Knights of Favonius,
From inspecting the wolf fur left at the scene, we can tell that the wolves came from Wolvendom. Beyond that, we don't know anything. But please remain calm. I will head to Wolvendom short. The Knights of Favonius will not allow this danger to continue any longer.
good.
How rude!
In the meantime, we'll just have to keep dealing with this on our own.
Please, don't do anything stupid.
We do things a bit differently around here. You Favonius lot probably aren't used to it. They will pay for what they've done. Goodbye.
Well then, someone's entitled as hell. Ours fart.
It's awful. Really is.
What is?
Their future outlook, I mean. Young people could be so impulsive sometimes. If it's not too much to ask, I hope you can keep an eye on them.
It's no trouble. That's what we're here for. Leave it to us.
It's a good thing I got all the teleport waypoints because this is a lot of traveling for this quest line. I do enjoy how they have like so many just different and random and variable quest lines all over the place to keep you busy while like you need to level up for the storyline quests. Really a good touch, I will say. Really, really is a good touch. Ooh, we got another text block.
Who's there?
Would you rather be able to see any place in the universe, but be utterly unable to communicate with everyone, or be able to befriend anyone but be totally blind? Oh, but be totally blind. In both cases, a 3-foot man kicks you repeatedly in the shins every night for an hour. Why do you have a midget always inflicting punishment in these freaking cases? What is with the punishments? Seeing a place but utterly unable to communicate with anyone, or befriend anyone but be totally blind. Okay, so I'm gonna take the blind one here.
Oh god, I would never be able to do that.
Because, and here's my reasoning. So, give you a little bit of story time. Okay, I'll just let the cutscene finish and then I'll answer.
You are also Knight?
So, you don't know each other after all?
No. This girl also red, but not so burny like other girl.
This is starting to make sense. Is this the wolf boy you were talking about?
Correct. His name is Razor.
Help me out.
With what?
No time. I sent Lupa call away. People coming. Bad people.
Those guys from earlier?
I understand, but first, I have a few questions.
I smell blood. Quick.
Blood? I hope the wolves didn't attack those idiots.
Alright. So, I have, I taught swimming lessons, in a volunteer organization to, like, children with disability. It was a fully entire, volunteer-based organization at my university. And so, like, we did our best, and some kids had like no capabilities of like speech or speech processing and whatnot, and so it was like I find that communication barriers are honestly like the most frustrating and annoying things ever. And so like to curse me to be unable to communicate in any way, shape, or form, like completely unable to communicate, would just drive me to madness. And like that's why I just
Got lucky that time. Right.
oh, she perished. Well done. And so it's like it's not the fact that like the other option being blind seems appealing. It's just that to me being blind is less of a terrible fate than being unable to communicate with the world around me. Because like if I try to say anything or explain anything and like it's like you know that feeling you get when like whenever you watch someone play a video game and they're very terrible and they're not streaming, so you can't just pop into chat and be like, hey, you're doing this wrong, you should be doing this. Like when you're invested, for instance, I will say like, because I've watched the Game Grumps play certain video games, and sometimes the solution is just clear as crystal to me, and they spend an entire 2 hours doinking around trying to figure out where to go. Like it's super frustrating to be like, how do you not understand this? And so like the whole not being able to communicate, it would be so frustrating to try to explain something or to try and talk or to try and get a basis between me and another person.
Let's go.
And so like if ever I want to like, you know, interact with anyone, the fact that I can't communicate or explain anything would be so infuriating. Like to me, that like it's practically like permanent isolation. Like, yeah, I can go anywhere, but like I'm permanently alone. Whereas, and in both ways, you experience the world super differently. But like loneliness to me is a greater curse than sight, because even without sight, I could still play piano, and well, I could still communicate. But then again, technically, if I can't communicate anything, you can communicate by playing music or creating music and whatnot. So technically, that would also be out of the picture. So you know, yeah, that goes out. So I'd rather be blind and have people around me and be super pissed and explain why I'm pissed at the person kicking my shins in the middle of the night.
Not human blood. Wolf blood. Lupercal blood.
Lupa, what now?
Lupercal is family fate gave me. When wolf accepts human as its own, or human accepts wolf.
Sounds like gibberish to me.
That's strange. Where does the word come from?
It's just the name he gave.
Who's he?
Guardian of this land.
Wouldn't that be Barbados, though?
Enough!
Hey, wait! This is your chance to prove your innocence!
It's already gone.
Melted Polly says, I'm an introvert, so I'd choose option 1, but with option 2, you can befriend the 3-foot man and ask him not to kick you very hard.
Exactly. And like, I don't know, it's the fact that like, despite having greatness and being able to see any place in the universe, like at some point it's just like, yeah, so what? Kind of thing. If I can see it, that's great for selfish old me. I can't share. Why am I trying to aim so hard? I want to break this rock. That's great for old me, but like the wow factor, especially for some people who have a very short attention span, me sometimes, just might super quickly just leave, and so because of that, I don't really care for it that much.
This is him. We find his blood.
I do agree that it's awful, but that doesn't change the fact that...
We didn't attack village. A black wolf and his pack. Not from here.
Who's Cole?
Guardian of this land.
That's now the second time you've brought that up.
I take Lupercal further in. Follow me. Maybe you see.
What I will say, whenever someone is raised by wolves, you always wonder where they learn English. And like, if they learn English from someone, why is that person not with them whenever you're interacting with them? Why is their translator not
That
there?
one from earlier was 2 meters high. Imagine how high this one must be.
Oh, we got an arena on our hands, folks. Yeah, I do agree. Malthapoli is like, seeing as I said that knowledge is most important to me. What could be greater source of knowledge than being all-seeing? But since I also stream, I also have that like communication really matters. It's the fact that like I also like I have that like knowledge is super important, but knowledge to one man is useless if you cannot pass it on. Because like you can only create so much alone before you need someone else to help. So like a lot of people like with great inventions and whatnot, they need help and they need to explain and they need this, that, or the other to, so like even if you have infinite knowledge, infinite sight and whatnot, if you can't share that with someone, like there is no point in gaining it. And so like that's why I want to be a doctor, because I want to get the medical knowledge to be able to explain to people who are like unaware, like what's wrong and like what they need to do, or why, and like be able to take away that fear of the unknown for other people. And so that's why
collect these.
That's why communication is so important to me. And like it's like when I had that one the teacher's niece in my Japanese class, she brought her niece over from Japan, and it was insanely frustrating to try and talk to her. It was super fun because it was a learning experience, and it was the first time I've ever encountered such a hard language barrier. But it was also super frustrating because like there's that whole like it was maybe 2 minutes of actual conversation before the desperation of lack of communication and lack of knowledge like just like rushed through my body, and that whole like desperate frustration of trying to like explain and keep going and like keep laughing together. Like we tried talking about Boku no Hero Academia because I watched anime, she loved the anime and whatnot, and then we're trying to like say who's your favorite character, and like since she doesn't know, she cannot speak at all in English, but like she doesn't want to use terminology that I won't know, we descended into grunts and onomatopoeias, and like she just went like Bakugo, like I was like, oh, which ones do you like the most? And she's like Bakugo, Eto, and she just like kept flashing her hands and whatnot to simulate explosions, and like we descended into like onomatopoeias and whatnot, and just grunts basically in the middle of like class was done, but like we were standing in the middle of class and whatnot, and like it's that desperation of like that frustration of trying to get your point across, of trying to communicate and trying to establish a connection. Just that's why communications is like so important to me, and that's why like I would never sacrifice being able to talk to someone or be able to like you could make me mute. I could still write, I could still type, I could still communicate a lot slower, but I could still communicate. Then maybe I'd take the all-seeing thing if I'm mute. But if I lose all sense of being able to communicate, nah, I tap out there.
Those wolf hook seeds?
Crush them. Put on wound. Bleeding stop.
It's true. Wolf hook seeds have a liquid coating that not only functions as a mild painkiller, but also has a hemostatic effect.
Ooh, is it, oh my god, salicylic acid? Is there salicylic acid in there?
I read that in a book.
Salicylic acid is derived in order to create painkillers. And it's found in a certain type of tree bark that used to be part of very ancient colonial medicine, as it used to be.
I believe it was willow
I have
trees.
no idea.
Hooks help seeds move. liquid stops pain.
If
and
I'm
bleeding.
correct there, I think it's
Animal doesn't
Willow-trees.
feel hooks. Purple teacher told me so. I stay here. Take care of this one. I answer Red Girl's questions.
Right. And if that lot does come back, I doubt they will try their luck against a member
Would
of the
you
Knights
rather
of
be
Favonius.
raised by wolves, but
Your
everyone can
boyfriend does
see your
not clear
belly
my
all
suspicion
day,
just yet, but we'll
and
still need to
have
fetch
a
those
bad
seeds.
voice actor? Or would you rather have a great voice actor in full shirt, but you have to be a game grump and 3 feet tall?
Your questions are getting weirdly specific. Rather be raised by wolves, and shirtless, and have a bad voice actor. What do you mean have a bad voice actor?
The
That-
character in your game.
Wait, what?
The character that you're the one raised by wolves in Genshin Impact, apparently he has a bad voice actor.
I mean, I don't like his voice. I'm pretty sure his Japanese voice would be a lot better.
Yes, enough.
Like, yeah, explain the voice actor part, because that's throwing me off. Like, is my life a documentary and there's like a voice actor?
Razor
Like-
was just telling me about the Wolven Code of Conduct. Mind-blowing stuff.
Thank you.
We've looked everywhere and haven't seen any other wolves.
Yep, that's wolves for you. The one we managed to capture must have been brain damaged or something.
What are you doing here?
Revenge.
It's him! The one who was raised by wolves!
Huh? So, it was you.
Oh, okay.
I should have
Because
known
I would
wolves aren't
love to
smart
meet
enough be
Aaron and
behind
Dan
this.
for, like, I would love to meet Aaron and Dan from the Game Grumps. They're like absolutely wonderful people. I would love to meet them, but nonetheless, being raised by wolves would also be fucking awesome. Like, because like if I like wandered out into the forest and had a wolf pack that just like took me in and whatnot, that would be super fucking cool for me as well, because holy crap, I love, like, wolves are one of my favorite creatures on this planet. And like, as a joke, people, like, I just start calling them dangerous puppies, but like, I love wolves. They're just awesome predators. They're awesome, like, creatures, and they're like surprisingly social and kind and curious and all that fun stuff. But like, being a Game Grumps would be also wonderful, because like, playing video games and being paid for it, fuck yeah. And just being stupid on the internet and having so many people love you, holy shit, yeah, I'd fucking love that. Heartbeat
You would
decision.
help wolves plot against humans.
Heartbeat decision.
They throw you some scraps and you treat them like kin? Have you forgotten what you are?
Enough! Yeah! You can't talk about Razor like that!
The Knights of Favonius are gonna let this guy off?
We did not raid village.
See, you have one dot too many in that sentence. The way you pronounced it.
What is this disturbance to which I awaken?
Oh, what?
This is no offering to Boreas.
Oh,
Only do you come for my kind, so too do you fail to recognize your own transgression.
oh.
Please, come.
You seek to protect these outsiders, Razor.
Oh.
You cannot tame my fury.
Wolf! Wolf! Oh my god! Like, see? That kind of shit! Fucking awesome! And I'm honestly, like, really loving the fact that, like, oh, ouch, darn it. I'm really loving the fact that, like, you have Dillick, who's the eagle. You have, ow. Okay, this character is freaking badass. I want him on my party. I want this character on my party now. Holy cheese.
It's just like he said. An outside wolf pack coming in and breaking the rules. They will reap what they have sown. But Razor, you must not get involved. You fight not with claws, but with the sword. You strike not with teeth, but with lightning. You are human, Razor.
I am not like them. I don't belong.
You are no wolf. This is a matter for the wolves, and the wolves alone. And you are Razor's Lupercal amongst humans. Your nobility stands out against others of your kind. If you ever wish, you may train with me. I have nothing further to say.
Well done. That was pretty freaking awesome.
Hey, Razor, what's that look for? Why don't you come to the city for a few days?
Yeah, you have a friend in Mondstadt anyway, right? You know, that red Bernie friend of yours?
You're not safe in the wild anymore, but I know that you don't want to hurt them.
I'm fine. Don't worry. But I'm not city human. But also not wolf. Thank you, traveler. Paimon and the other red girl.
Hey, we've been with you all this time, and you still don't even know my name?
I will say, in Razor's defense, I could stay in someone's presence an entire day and forget their name and or not know their name, because, you know, when you're just with one other person, you go, hey, you, yeah, you, friend, you. So, yeah. Yeah, I guess I have to beat him to have access to this challenge. Oh, but nonetheless, that was pretty freaking cool. But yeah, I would absolutely love to be part of the Green Grumps, because just those guys are so, like, they are definitely a, like, power couple. Because, like, they just feed off of each other's energy so well, and, like, when you have just Dan gone and Aaron alone, or vice versa, you can feel, like, a definite, like, rift of, like, they're trying a lot harder to be entertaining, whereas whenever it's them together, it's just so natural and so nothing feels nearly as forced. Nearly as forced. Nearly is a very important word in that sentence, as occasionally they will force a joke and it will be painful and or it will be freaking hilarious, but like when they're together, it's such a power couple. With lack of any better terms, it's a power couple group, and like they're just wonderful. They're wonderful guys. So yeah, I'd love to be a Game Grumps. Fucking no matter what consequences I have to go through, that I would probably, you know, glue my bum to a chair to become a Game Grumps. It would not be enjoyable, but I would do it.
If you're borrowing a book, please register it in the log. The restricted section is currently not lending any books.
I will also say, Lisa's Japanese voice is super tempting for me to change like it from English to Japanese, because she does become Ara Ara waifu. And oh my god, it just puts a smile on my face because I am such a fucking weeb, but it puts a huge smile on my face.
It's you, little cutie.
Yeah, like for those lines, it'd be Ara Ara, and it's like, such happiness.
It's so good to see you. More refreshing than a strong cup of tea in the afternoon.
Clearly you're meant to be working, but you don't seem to have your heart in it at all.
I mean, other than Jean, who really works that earnestly anyway? So, did you have something you needed? Or did you just come to see me?
Like, see, like, those lines, those freaking lines. Oh my god, you know what? Yeah.
Ooh, smooth talker.
Simping.
Not what I was expecting.
Simping so hard on Lisa.
Miss Librarian, got any books to recommend?
Recommended books. Sadly, everything I'd personally recommend is all in the restricted section, which we're not currently lending out.
What's with your ominous tone?
Oh, right. Would you be interested in checking out the Devat travel guide? I think it would be quite helpful for you as travelers here.
Ooh, sounds like it could be helpful. Do you think we could take a peek?
I suppose I can try to find you a copy from the list.
Isn't this Lisa's job? What does she mean, I suppose?
Oh dear. That's unfortunate. Our copy is currently being borrowed. Come to think of it, quite a few of our books are now overdue. I really wish people would just return their books.
Yeah, guys, be diligent library goers and return your books.
On time.
Yeah.
Whoa, is Paimon imagining things, or does the air in here suddenly feel a lot more electrified?
Such a pain. I'm going out to bring those unreturned books back. If you'd rather get your hands on that copy of the Tevat travel guide sooner, you'd better come with me.
We about to go kick some ass to get some books back because we are diligent library people.
Lisa seems really scary right now. Paimon thinks it would be best if you answer her.
You really are such a considerate cutie. Let's see. First, we can go to the souvenir shop. It's called With Wind Comes Glory. So let's meet there shortly.
Alright. Okay, this question really touches on, like, who I shall be and who I want to be, and what may or may not happen in the world around me. So, would I rather be a super successful streamer, but have to answer hypothetical questions all the time of vastly varying quality, or be a successful surgeon, but I'm 3 feet tall? Well, here's the thing, and joke's on you, sir, because I had enough time to think it out while reading the question. I'd choose to be a streamer, because being a successful streamer would only fund my dream to become a surgeon. Because I could just work out a schedule like a proper successful streamer of streaming once a week or twice a week, and having sponsors and having a huge fan base and this, that, the other, and have Twiddlies just raining from the sky to support me while I still go to school.
That's a nice haul.
And not have to be 3 feet tall and be a surgeon of varying quality and eventual. So I'd rather be like right now, present day me would rather get the success in streaming as I'm working towards, because a lot of streamers I've met are super duper lax and have lives outside of streaming. They're just super popular, and that's why they get like a fuck ton of money just thrown at them on the side. And so that is what, and like also I love hypothetical questions. I freaking love them. People say I'm immature for like, oh, why are you dwelling in the hypothetical and the like unreal and whatnot. I love hypothetical questions because like,
come take a look.
It brings
there will
out
definitely
like
be something that catches your eye.
Like, you know, some some aspects of your morality and all that fun stuff. And like looking,
hey, you're here. Let's begin, shall we?
And like an insight on like what other people think and whatnot, and would be like, oh, a terrible thing or a wonderful thing. So like, I'd love to just stream like once a night, like I'm doing right now, on my path to being a surgeon, and be successful and answer these hypothetical questions given me by chat. I'd love that, like beyond a doubt. So yeah, I'd pick option 1 because it doesn't exclude being able to accomplish my dream. That's why.
I'm so surprised. Today is such a special day. It's only natural that I'd want a souvenir to remember it by. Oh, is that how you see it? I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. At your age, these kinds of fleeting fantasies are normal.
Well, I feel looked down upon for the option that I have chosen in that conversation with Lisa.
Well, if it's a souvenir you're after, you're in the right place. I'm sure you'll find something that strikes your fancy, Lisa. Or you could let your new friend pick something out for you. Make it more of an occasion.
Yes, let us pick.
Oh my god, I have to pick. What is going on? What is going on in this game? Amy? Amy? My co-host has been dragged off. No, what do I do? And I don't trust Melton Pollies for this answer. I am feeling super freaking awkward and slightly embarrassed at this situation. And I've gotten sending in. There's 2 question mark options. Pick the red one. There is no red one. I'm not colorblind. There's no red one on there. There's Ragged Old Scroll, which is what I'm gonna do. Because, yeah.
This is a historical relic retrieved from some ruins by one of the Adventurers Guild.
But, like... Well, see... I picked the scroll because that's the more innocent one, and I felt super embarrassed at the thought that I could pick fucking bloomers. But then again, the only bloomers could mean so many things, but I immediately, thanks to being a weeb, went with that's the lolicon fetish. So let's pick the smart girl fetish. You know.
Tear, but this thing in the painting must be well over 1,000 years old. Though it doesn't make much sense to me.
My goodness. This is one of the 3 lost scrolls that make up the Northern Border Wind investigation. What is it doing here?
I'm sorry, I've never heard of a flower called bloomers, so I'm not perverted. I only know one definition of the word. That's like saying the word... Give me a second. Yeah, it's like saying the word fuck. Well, a lot of people take it as the curse word. A lot of other people might only be exposed to it as the action of loving. And if you're French like me, it's a seal. It's a aquatic mammal in northern territories. So don't judge me for not knowing every other definition of a word. So shut up. Who knows? Hey, this is also not a North American game, so bloomers could have been a super awkward thing. But we'll never know. You'll just have to get Genshin Impact and play it for yourself to find out. Huh.
You sure? Can't change again once you've made your mind up.
My.
Like, my
You
cheeks
really know a treasure when you see
are
it.
very warm,
This
nonetheless.
is a work of unparalleled significance for the research of ancient people's understanding of the elements. I will gladly accept it. Goodness, is that the time? Marjorie, one last thing. About the legend of Vanessa.
Oh, so you're a fan of the gallant Lady Vanessa too? Why didn't you say so? For example, this lion's tooth pendant with Vanessa's name carved into it. It was once a medal awarded to a knight by the great lady herself. Oh my goodness. I do apologize. I got so excited when you mentioned Vanessa. I didn't know that book was overdue, even though I take it with me everywhere. I can't believe I didn't put two and two together as soon as I saw you here.
Well, since you look up to Lady Vanessa so very much...
Yes, Lisa.
Let's go and find the next...
I'm not a perv.
Welcome to Good Hunter. Table for two?
I just have only been exposed to a certain type of media with that word.
Oh, my apologies. Please sit wherever you like, and call me over once you're ready to order. So we're gonna eat first and bring up the book situation later?
Why, of course. The stress of work really takes the pleasure out of eating, don't you think?
Work is that bad, huh?
Well, no.
It's been getting quite busy recently.
You.
Why don't you order us something, cutie? I'm ever so curious to know what your tastes are. This seems like the sort of staple bar food you'd find at the tavern. It has an extremely strong flavor, so drinkers love it because they can actually taste it.
You sure? Can't change again?
Why don't you... Good Hunter's signature dish. If it's what you want, I'll try anything once.
You sure?
Okay, so we can go back.
Why don't...
What the question mark things?
Why don't...
Oh yeah, I want the
This
smoked
seems
chicken.
like...
You sure?
Finished ordering? Sit here. Let's dine together.
I actually need like pepper and stuff. And I need more of these. For my adventuring and whatnot. Crab roe, jam roe. Oh! Tea break pancakes. I'll purchase a recipe, please. Thank you. And flaming man bolognese. I'm not a perv, 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 I'm not a perv. I'm a decent and normal human being that makes mistakes like everyone else. Do not shame me for who I am.
Finished ordering? such a potent aroma. It's almost suffocating. I never thought someone your age would go for a dish like this. I always had you down as a little cutie. Now I'm not so sure.
God damn it! No, where's the quick save?
Time is getting on. I suppose I should carry on with this ghastly thing called work. Let's have a little chat with Sarah.
Would you like to order something else?
No, thank you. We're quite satisfied. But I'm afraid I must ask you about the boar princess.
The boar brisket? I'm sorry. I think we took that off the menu.
She means the book you borrowed.
Oh, of course. I came straight to the restaurant after I borrowed it and completely forgotten that I even had it.
Well, you're responsible, aren't you?
I'm so...
Okay, then. Right. On to our next stop, then, cute.
I feel so very judged right now. So, yeah. Don't judge me too harshly, everyone.
This is our final call for the day.
The music's so good.
Welcome. Couples are our specialty. Let me know what you'd like and I'll wrap them up nicely for you.
Yes. Now, which book was it that has the line, "A date without flowers is a date without romance"? Why, it just so happens that I would, my kindest cutie.
Some flowers for Miss Lisa? What would you like?
I'll be right back. Because I thought it was like someone. No one else moved. No worries. And I'm back. Roommate was locked out of the house. So, yeah.
Mist flowers. Over there in the corner. But don't touch them with your bare hands. You'll get frostbite. You want them? You're sure? It's just that Lisa seems to use electro quite a lot.
You sure?
Some flowers for... Dandelions are one of our classics. I know what you're thinking. Most flower shops don't sell dandelions. They're a nuisance to care for. Perhaps Miss Flora likes the sense of floating away to a faraway land that the dandelion evokes. Come to think of it, Miss Flora herself gives people the same impression.
You sure? Can't you...
Dandelions? They actually sell dandelions? They have a refreshing scent, similar to the one Jean wears. Thank you. Okay, time to get back to business.
I was actually super nervous about this.
Do you know why we're here?
Back to business? My business is selling flowers.
Once again, we see a total lack of respect for literature. The Pale Princess and the Six Pygmies. Ring a bell?
Oh, yes. Well, what happened was... Oh no, what am I gonna do? I lost the book. A while back, I realized it was almost due, and I was getting ready to bring it back to the library, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked for days, but nothing. It's like somebody stole it. It should have been there, on my bedside table, right where I left it.
Uh-oh. That Lisa does some crazy things when she gets mad.
I heard that. Well, if it really was stolen, Donna's done nothing wrong. The blame lies with the book thief, and their punishment will be 10 times worse than stealing my book.
like Paimon said, totally crazy.
Oh, don't worry about that. As long as I remain librarian, not a single book will go missing for good. I put a unique elemental marker on each book. Our thief will have left a nice set of clues for us to follow.
When did Lisa start taking her job so seriously?
Hey, sweetie. I've heard your elemental sensitivity is very strong.
Elemental sense? Use your elemental...
I swear, I can't go any longer.
Looking at the elemental traces, it does seem likely that the book was stolen.
So Donna didn't do anything wrong after all.
It's not from the restricted section, so it's hardly a book worth stealing. Whoever wanted this book so badly had a strange fixation indeed.
So, what do we do now?
The elemental traces are very faint, but I can tell that the thief took it beyond the city walls. You must see it too, right, cutie? Let's follow the trail and have a look where our thief was headed, shall we? The elemental traces are strong here, but it seems our thief did not stay for long. The trail keeps going. Let's keep looking.
Also, I'm no longer so sure about your bloomers
It's further than I thought.
description,
Quite the intrepid
melted
explorer,
polys,
our little thief.
as
Maybe we frightened the turtle back inside his shell.
we went to a flower shop right after, and yeah. Usually you don't have a souvenir shop sell flowers if there's already a flower shop selling flowers. So, well, we'll never know because I immediately picked the scroll and, yeah. That's what happened. We'll never know. We'll never know. But I am a few steps away from deciding, you know what? Japanese voice actor might be what I change the game to. I might test off screen for a little bit, but ooh, frames. I don't have an archer, so nope, I'm not gonna do that. Ping just hit 5,000. Oh my god! Game is dying.
It must be nearby.
Alright, new question. Being forced to go back in time and prevent World War II or the Vietnam War, whichever you choose will make the impact of the other 100 times worse. Which do you choose? Alright, I will say one thing. Not a history buff. So I've never actually studied or actually, like, I'm totally an uncultured Canadian swine as never, ever, ever dabbled in the Vietnam War and its ramifications and all that fun stuff. So, for all I know, like, I honestly couldn't answer that question because I don't have a basis. My answer would literally just be flip a coin on that one. Because
using elemental sight, you can even detect magic. Follow the flow of.
like, I'm not a history buff. I'm sorry if that's disappointing. So, man, someone was swaying with this book hard. So,
The thief lives inside ruins?
Please do not jump to such a preposterous conclusion about the living habits of Mondstadt's residents. This seems far more likely to be the work of some none too friendly troublemakers. Stealing books is hardly the Hilly Churl's style. All they would use books for is to keep their campfire going anyway. This is more likely to be the Abyss Order's doing. They do seem to have a way of slipping in and out of places like ghosts, after all. Also, there's an elemental seal at the entrance. It looks like the result of an Abyss mage's magic.
A seal? How are we gonna break it?
Not to worry. If you think a little magic can keep me out, think again.
Why is that?
Paimon, you're also very clueless, aren't you?
Come on.
Whoa! So this is what Lisa's like when she's hard at work.
Ooh. So yeah, honestly, that one would be me flipping a coin. It would be a weighted or judged decision. And like, what one can say, like 100 times worse or 10 times worse for the ramification, 100 times worse of the ramifications of like a world war or the Vietnam War could escalate into being like the end of the world and whatnot. So if I have to prevent any video game from being released. Oh my god.
Do we really have to go all the way inside?
There's actually quite a few video
If you
games.
borrow a book, you have to return it.
I
There will
would-
be no exceptions.
There's actually quite a few video games I would like to stop the release because they did not help anyone. But that's more my personal outlook on really, really terrible fan service games. And the one I'm thinking in particular right now is I have dabbled in a game which was entirely terrible fan service. It was the SAO video game. Hollow Realization or something like that, I forget. And it was absolutely like just super bad. Like also I could also be like jokey a little bit and be like, oh, one game that doesn't deserve to have been released is Sonic Boom, because that game was an absolute unfinished mess. And so, ooh, am I gonna pass through the lasers? Am I gonna pass through the lasers? Okay, I passed through and it didn't hurt me that much. I guess I'd just stop freaking that SAO game because it does not deserve to exist for how bad it was. What are those? Oh! That SAO game was just terrible fan service. It was all about. It was literally a game about like the jiggle physics and just watching your like the characters you really love through the anime be put in like much different and or super awkward new situations just for like your entertainment. And like it didn't need to exist. But not, and it was all about the jiggle physics, and it had some rather terrible jiggle physics. Like, my gosh. Some of the worst jiggle physics I've ever seen in a video game even. Oh, slimes. So yeah, that's the one game I would choose to just erase from the existence, as it's not very impactful, but it still takes away a little bit of bad in the world. Like, there's not really any video games I believe are like necessarily evil or negatively impactful in the world. So there's that. But like, I do believe that there's a lot of video games that are like kind of neutral, and having them exist or whatnot doesn't help nor does it hinder society. So yeah, I think that one would be just one that I could delete because it does deserve to exist and no one would bat an eye. So yeah.
I just realized that it is almost midnight for you. How late are you gonna stay?
Wait, what? Oh shit! I was so entertained by these questions and whatnot. I did not even know what time it was anymore.
I thought that you were gonna finish around 11 and then you just kept going and going and going.
I mean, I was planning on doing that too, but then we got in a date with Lisa and we may or may not just not want to stop because, yeah, it's actually kind of a fun situation. How many trials do I have to do?
I think there's 3 trials to get past there. Dilek is awesome.
Yeah, I know, and the sword I gave him is even more awesome.
I only have one fire character, and that's Amber. Amber's her name, right?
Yeah, Amber is the outrider with the bow and the fire.
Yeah, and I can't stand using any of the characters with bows. I can't figure out how to use them.
Want my book back. Tell me, how is it that you have the time to conceal your stronghold and apply a magic seal, but not to sign out a library book in the proper manner? You have no respect whatsoever for other people's work.
You just want the book? I was unaware that anyone in Mondstadt was concerned with unearthing the secret hidden inside this book. Who are you?
The librarian. Although I believe that should be quite clear already. Return the book. This is an ultimatum.
Since you insist on concealing your identity, I have all the less reason to give you that book. After all, it contains the secret. Huh? What are you doing? Such concentrated elemental power! Please don't!
We beat the shit out of any of these monsters. Why do we care about, like, why did that have to go to black screen? Because, oh, it's too gruesome.
Naughty boys who don't do what they're told need a little punishment to keep them in line. This is why I call it troublesome work.
Melted Polys, I will answer that I love Dan Avidan and Aaron Hansen for the Game Grumps. I love that combo the best.
We'll just need to find the book ourselves. It should be around here somewhere.
Watched a few episodes with the JonTron, and I don't know. I just grown to just love Danny Avidani as my favorite. Danny Avidani and Aaron as my favorite pairing of the Grumps.
It's the Pale Princess and the Six Pygmies. Paimon remembers that name.
That's the one.
Otherwise what? Are you telling me you have even more crazy punishments up your sleeve?
I would have probably have needed to dish out a little taste of one of my potions in that case. Then again, as I said, it isn't from the restricted section, which is the only reason I would let the average citizen borrow it in the first place. And it doesn't appear to have any abnormal elemental properties, save for the markings I put on it.
Yeah, it seems like just an average storybook.
As far as my duties as a librarian go, my troublesome work is finished. Since this book has piqued your interest, why don't I let you borrow it? There's no time limit for you. I will register you as custodian rather than borrower. This is an exclusive privilege reserved for trusted citizens only.
Exclusive privilege? Why does Paimon feel this is just your sneaky way of offloading your troublesome work onto someone else?
Excuse me? Are you in some way dissatisfied with my work? Good. You're amenable to reason then. I do wish I could keep you by my side as my personal assistant. My work here is done. I'm going back. Don't forget to register at the library when you have a spare moment.
Well, we have a new book. And I noticed what time it was, and sadly, all good things must come to an end. So I'm going to have to go to bed now, as I require sleep, so that my brain can do the functioning as I study more medicine tomorrow morning. I totally didn't mean it, but that rhymed. So, oh, and as I hear an alarm on the other side of the world, that totally means I gotta stop. I gotta stop for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me on this adventure. It was absolutely wonderful to actually answer all your what ifs. I'd love to do more of those, so freaking looking forward to that. Thank you so much, though. I have to go to bed now. So, good night, everyone. Bye-bye.